What's up guys, welcome back to another BTD gaming video, and today we have another Master Duel deck profile, and we're going to be looking at an archetype that isn't really that highly represented. It's not fully fleshed out here in Master Duel. It's not even fully fleshed out in the TCG. There's more support for it coming. There's also some cards that are in the TCG that aren't in Master Duel yet. So this is a very premature version of the deck, but it's still very fun to play. So the point of Amazement is to control the board with trap cards, but these trap cards are very unique because you can equip them to either your card or your opponent's monster, and these trap cards can do different things depending on who you equip it to, yours or your opponent's. And your goal is to control the board until you eventually swing for game. You have your boss monster, Amazement Administrator, Arlecchino, and you have other cards like Lord of the Heavenly Prison to help you out with that. But let's go through the card by card. First, we have the best card in the game, which is Max C. I'll never say it's enough. This card will even be useful in a deck like this. We have Ash Blossom and Joy Spring for negation. Our first of the Amazements, we have Amazement Attendant Comica. This is your tour guide, essentially, your normal summon search, and you can search for an Amaze Attraction trap card, which is very, very useful. We also have Amazement Assistant Delia. This is a special summon you can get from the hand if you have the Amaze Attraction trap card in your hand. This card can also send an attraction trap from your hand or the field to the graveyard, and you can do certain things with those trap cards in your graveyard, so this card can be very useful. Then we have the main boss monster for the Amazements, which is Amazement Administrator Arlecchino. You want to get this guy can get on the board by simply anyone activating trap cards, and essentially what he does is he can equip trap cards directly from the deck. He can destroy cards on the field by banishing Amazement Attraction cards from the graveyard. He's very, very good, very, very versatile. You want him on the field as soon as possible. So obviously you would run 3 of Arlecchino. We have 2 Lord of the Heavenly Prison to protect back row and to get another big body on the board. So those are the monsters. We have the spells. We have Pot of Extravagance. You don't go into the extra deck all that much, so Extravagance is pretty good to run here. And you have 3 Amazing Time Tickets. This is your Amazement Searcher spell card that's also a quick play. Now, if you activate it on your turn, you add any Amazement card from your deck to your hand. But if you activate this on your opponent's turn, you can set an attraction trap directly from your deck, and it can be activated that turn. So very versatile, quick play spell card here, depending on when you activate it. Now we get into the traps. We have Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Now this card can be activated if you tribute 1 dark monster, 2500 or more attack. And luckily we have 2 of those. We have Arlecchino and we have Lord of the Heavenly Prison. And you can declare either spell or trap, and essentially you look at their hand and look at what's on the field, and if you select, let's say there's spells and there's a bunch of spells, all those spells will be destroyed. And then for 3 turns, you see what they draw, and if it's one of the cards you called, spell or trap, that card will be destroyed directly from their hand for the next 3 turns. This card actually sees TCG competitive play. It's very, very good in this deck. Next, we have 3 Infinite Impermanence, 2 Dogmatic Punishment, 4 negation and board destruction. We have Amazement Family Faces, where if one of your Amazement trap cards is equipped to your opponent's card, you can take control of that monster, which is very, very useful. Obviously, we have 3 Amaze Attraction Cyclo Coaster. Now, if this card is equipped to one of your monsters, you can target 1 spell trap your opponent controls and send both that and this card to the graveyard. Obviously very good. But if it's equipped to one of your opponent's monsters, you can add 1 Amazement monster from your deck to your hand. So again, very, very useful in whatever situation you find yourself in. And what's interesting over here about Amazement Attendant Comica is that one of her effects is you can change who your trap card is equipped to. So if you get the one effect from one of these cards, you can switch to another to get the other effect the next turn. So again, very versatile here. We have one Amaze Attraction Merry-Go-Round. This helps gain attack and things like that. So it's just another Amaze Attraction card to have. Next we have 3 Amaze Attraction Horror House. Now equipped to one of your monsters, it becomes Monster Negation. Or equipped to one of your opponent's monsters, it becomes a Book of Moon. So again, very versatile. And then we have 1 Amaze Attraction of Viking Vortex and 2 Solemn Judgment. The extra deck is really not much you have to go through here. The only thing is your Elder Entity Entis, however many you want to run, depending on how many Dogmatic Punishments you run. Now, one other thing you can do, some people like to run 3 Torrential Tribute, sub out for something. There is a replay with Torrential Tribute in it. So it all depends on how much control you want over the board. So this was the deck profile, and we're going to go take a look at some replays and see how the deck performs. Alright, here we go. This is our first replay for Amazement Deck, and in this duel we'll be going first. We got our Arlecchino in the opening hand. We also get our Attendant. Pot of Extravagance isn't bad either. We'll activate that, banish 6, and we'll draw 2 cards, get some traps, summon our Attendant, and we'll get another Amazement Attraction. We'll get the Cyclone here, so we don't have a bad setup. We have some negation with Atch and Imperm, and we have our Arlecchino. Our opponent's going to activate Polymerization. We're going to activate our Horror House and equip it to our Amazement Attendant. Now we have some negation on the board. Our opponent is playing Heroes and Fusion Summons. Fusion Hero Trinity activates it at 5,000 attack points. We'll activate its Elemental Hero, but will Ash it. Ash the Shadow Mist so we don't get the search. Now, because we activate the trap, we can special summon our Arlecchino, which we do. But our opponent is going to chain Mass Change from their hand, and they're going to banish their Vision Hero Trinity, and they're most likely going to say up Mass Hero Dark Wall, little Imperm, which fizzles. We'll get our Arlecchino, and now we have our boss on the board. Our Ash will go through a lot of chains here, but that's kind of all our opponent can do. We have our Amaze Attraction Cycle, so we will, or Cyclone, so we will get a search once this resolves. And our opponent's going to activate Destiny Hero Malicious to special summon it, but we have our Amazement Family Faces. So this is going to give us control of the Dark Wall because it is equipped with our trap card. So now our opponent loses their Dark Wall. We get another Amazement Attendant combo. And now our board's looking a little more threatening here. We'll activate our Arlecchino to equip directly from the deck. And here we go, and we should be able to win from here. We're going to normal Arcana, get another trap, set it. That's our Amazing Deck. We will attack. Attack directly with Dark Wall. And we are in a pretty good spot. They're going to activate their increase, but not too worried because we can just equip it with our Arlecchino effect. So they have one more shot here. They're going to normal summon Vision Hero Vion. We're going to equip the card directly from the deck using our Arlecchino. We're also going to negate the Vion with Horror House, and our opponent's seen enough, and we get the win against the Heroes. And here is our next replay for Amazement. And this time we're actually going to go second to see how we do going second here. Lost the coin toss. Our opponent is playing Trap Tricks, so all the Trap Tricks moves, they link some hero to the field end phase, and we'll see what we can do. We're kind of in a tough spot here. Trap Tricks can be tricky. Activate our Imperm, and we're going to chain our Amazing Time Ticket to get a search. Time Ticket is going to resolve. We get our Comica. And our Imperm is going to go to the grave. Our Trap Trick Sarah is going to activate. We're going to Ash it so they don't get the effect. We're going to special summon the Administrator Arlecchino. So at least we have him on the board. right now. Summon, the Ash goes through, and we are going to normal summon Kamika, activate to get the search. We're going to get our attraction for our house for negation on the board, but they have a mirror force, that's not helpful. So all of our monsters will be destroyed, and all that work for nothing. And let's see what our opponent does here. Set some more cards, and that would be a great time for the virus, but we don't really have one to activate it. We do get a Psycho Closer, but we have another amazing time to get set. We get another Arlecchino. We're going to activate our Horror House, equipping it to the Trap Serum. We will be able to special summon our Arlecchino. So now using the Sarah's effect, they will summon Merlinio, and we're going to activate our Arlecchino from there to equip a trap directly from the deck. And then they're going to activate their Sarah. We're going to activate our Cyclo Coaster, and we're going to get a search off of this, which is really helpful. We're going to get another Kamika. Our opponent's Sarah's going to resolve to get another trap, which is Break Off Trap Hole. We're going to normal summon our Kamika. We're going to set another Horror House, activate the Arlecchino, activate the Kamika to move the equip of Horror House to one of our monsters. Arlecchino is going to resolve. We destroy the Sarah. We're going to attack, but Trap Hole is going to destroy another Arlecchino and burn us for 1300. So again, we're in a pretty tough spot here. Not gonna lie, they're gonna reveal Vesiculo. We're gonna activate our Cyclo Coaster and equip it to their Trap Tricks monster. So again, we'll at least be able to get a search off, which we will. We get our third and final Arlecchino. And they're going to get some, Z summon for a Steel Swarm Brooch. We're gonna activate the Horror House, which will allow us to special summon the Arlecchino. We're going to use Kamika to change the from Horror House to the Kamika again, so we get a complete effect. And our opponent's going to go to the battle phase, but we're going to activate the Horror House. And nothing much is going to happen there. But we do have an amazing attraction in the graveyard, so now we can use the Arlecchino's effect to get the destruction. We're going to Extravagance first. We're going to be able to draw some cards. Punishment might come in handy. We'll set that. Activate Arlecchino, bash 3 cards, destroy all 3 of their back row, and all of a sudden we are in the driver's seat, as Arlecchino can really blow up the board pretty quickly. So they have their Traptrix Dionea. We'll activate our Arlecchino to equip directly from the deck. We'll also activate Maxi so we can get a couple of balls. Arlecchino is going to resolve. We have our final Cyclo Coaster. We're going to pretty late to the party get our Eradicator virus. We're going to activate Punishment to destroy. We're going to activate our Cyclo Coaster to search. And both of these things are going to resolve. We'll get another Kamika. Then we're going to use Punishment to get rid of the Trap Tricks monster. And again, we're still kind of in the driver's seat here. They do have one more trap they can set. They get another Sarah, but again, we have a lot of ways to deal with this from this point on. So we're going to activate our Arlecchino, bash our Cyclo Coaster, destroy the trap card, normal summon Kamika. We're going to get another Horror House for negation board, set Punishment and Virus, and we're going to go to the battle phase, get rid of the monster, attack directly, and again, our opponent is in a pretty tough spot. As we activate one of these traps, we'll summon our Lord of the Heavenly Prison. They have Lone Fire Blossom, which isn't going to do much. We're going to activate Horror House to equip to our Arlecchino, so we get the negate effect. They have a Dogmatic Punishment. We destroy the Lone Fire Blossom. And then we're going to, once he's resolved, be able to summon our Lord of the Heavenly Prison. And there's really nothing our opponent can do at this point. So they're going to surrender and we'll take the win. Here is our final replay of the video for our Amazement deck, and we're actually going to go second again. Lost the coin toss. Our opponent will extravagance. We're going to ash that so they don't get the draw, but they still have 4 cards in hand, so we'll see where this goes once this resolves. And our opponent's going to set 4, and we have another back row deck. They actually have a prosperity, so they're going to set 3, get the prosperity, and this will give us an inkling of what kind of deck they're running. They're going to add their skill drain, which I'm sure they're going to set here. Not that worried about skill drain. We'll see what happens. We have a torrential tribute because we're running the torrential tribute version of this deck. We have an extravagance of our own. They activate a summon limit, which isn't really a problem for us. They activate their skill drain. It bounces so the effects can be activated on the field. The effects are negated on the field. And we're going up against Eldritch. Alright. This is going to be a bit of a challenge to get their Golden Lord on the field, so these plays are in rotation. We're finally going to get our draws. We have an amazing time ticket, which is good, but because traps were activated, we can special our Arlecchino, but they're going to solemn strike that, so we lose him, which is pretty rough. We're going to activate our time ticket because we can't use our Arcana for the search. We'll get another Arlecchino. We're going to normal Arcana. Its effect will be negated. Set 3, and we'll see where this goes. Our opponent sets 1, activate the Scarlet Sanguine, and they are going to, well, we're going to activate our Horror House. These effects, they're going to set a Conquistador, but this will allow us to special summon our Arlecchino. These will resolve, and the Horror House will Book of Moon the Eldritch. Right now, that might come in handy later, again, against Eldritch, especially when he's indestructible on the field. And we'll use Cyclocoaster to get rid of the skill drain. We have an Ash. We're going to activate our Arlecchino. We're going to get rid of some cards, but they activate Warlords in response. So we're going to have to get rid of the Kamika, but we will destroy the 2 with Arlecchino's effect for some pretty good damage. Our opponent is getting kind of low here. So now it's our opponent's turn, and this is where things get tricky. We're going to Eldritch here to get the man onto the field at 3,500. This was always inevitable. We'll activate our Arlecchino to equip something to the Golden Lord, but they have their Conquistador. Conquistador is going to resolve, which is going to destroy our Arlecchino. And we're going to use the Cyclocoaster, equip it to the Eldritch to search for another Arlecchino. We're going to take a pretty big damage, but we're not at lethal yet. Especially by next turn when the Eldritch's effect wears off. Activate our Lord of Prison. Hope they don't draw a monster. They don't, so we're still alive. And we're going to do something a little tricky here. Hopefully this works. We're going to set 1 normal Ash and then Torrential Tribute everything. We're then going to summon our Lord of the Heavenly Prison for its effect. Try to swing for game here, but they do have Ice Dragon's Prison, so they'll get our Arlecchino, but because they activate the trap, we're going to be able to summon our Arlecchino. So our Lord of the Prison attacks will go through. We're going to deal 2,600, not lethal yet, unfortunately. But we will destroy their final back row. So they're in a tough spot, but they're not out of it yet. They do get the trap set. So again, Eldritch is going to be in rotation. They already have another card they can set. Activate Eldritch, get rid of the Gozen match, bring Eldritch into their hand. They'll special summon it for 3,500. All may seem lost here, but we are going to activate our Arlecchino. We're going to activate our Horror House and equip it to the Eldritch. Now watch very carefully. We're then going to also equip a Cyclo. They're going to activate their Sanguine. We're going to use Horror House to Book of Moon the Eldritch, and now it can't hurt us. So we get another Kamika, Powerhouse is going to resolve. The Eldritch is now flipped. They're going to summon another Eldritch, so now they can't Xyz for the Rail Cannon to end us, and this might be game. We're going to activate the Arlecchino, banish 2 to destroy both of their Voldemorts. They're going to activate Sanguine to set another card from their deck, but that won't make a difference here. Arlecchino resolves, the Eldritches are destroyed, and we're going to swing for game. A pretty crazy back and forth game versus Eldritch. Alright, well there you have it. So again, this deck requires a lot of setup, and sometimes it can just be too slow. But if you do get that setup going, and you're really strategic about what you equip your tracks to, and when you activate certain effects, and stuff like that, it can really give your opponent a tough time. Again, one of the biggest problems with this deck is the setup. If you don't have a good combination of cards in your hand, this deck can be very, very bricky, so it's not always the most consistent, but hopefully we'll be getting more support for this deck on the way, because I think there is potential here. I think it's very, very fun, so I hope you enjoy it too. So this has been the Amazement Deck Profile for Master Duel. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.